Hello, and welcome to Let's Make a Top-Down Shooter. This video is about building the framework for upgrades, with the user interface and character changes in the following videos. Also note, skill points are being renamed to upgrade points, as we'll be awarding buffs, not abilities. So to build this upgrade framework, the first thing I'm going to add is another enum called Upgrade Type. I'm going to add 3 for health, and more later. With that, I'll hit F5, compile and launch. All right, so I've also added a few textures for those. And to start, I'm going to be using game instance because some of the information will need to persist across levels. I'm going to add a bunch of variables. Upgraded weights. Actually, I meant upgrade weights. And this will be of type upgrade type. And it will map to an integer. I also want pending upgrades. Pending upgrades will be randomized and then saved, persisted, so that you can't just close and reopen the window to get new sets of upgrades. This will just be an array. Awarded upgrades. This is just the list of upgrades, when they're spelled properly, that are awarded to the player. This is needed to persist across levels because every time you enter a new level, the player will start fresh, so to speak, and then they can be added at that point. That is also just an upgrade type array. Also want a map for upgrade text. This will map to, surprisingly, text. That will be used for the UI elements. Similarly, upgrade icon will be a map to a texture. For those two values, we want to add one entry per enum. In this case, the text is going to be health plus 5, health plus 10, and health plus 20. The upgrade icon will set these appropriately. And lastly, the weights. So similarly, we have our 3 here. This is going to be a 60% currently chance. 30%, and the remaining 10%. To be clear though, they're only, and I'm only calling them out as percent because these numbers add up to 100. That become relevant later. We're going to start with get random upgrade. We want to use a local variable, total weight. This will be a integer, and it is not a map. So we'll just initially set that to 0, which is redundant because it will be 0 when you come in here anyways. So we're starting with a sequence. The first part of the sequence will just take the weights, get the values from this, do a for each loop, and all it's doing is taking the total weight, adding the element, to it and setting that back to the total weight. So that will iterate through our three values. It'll add 60, then 30, then 10. And then down here, we want to take our total weight. We're going to use that to random integer in range. And I didn't need to drag that because it's actually going to the max value. So 0 and, in this case, 100 inclusive. We will set a random weight value. And then we will iterate again through our upgrade weights, values. And in this loop, we want our random weight when that is less than or equal to the array element. We will get our upgrade weights again, this time the keys. Use that to get, and we're using the index. That will give us the random enum. Just drag this on here to add the output node. Call this upgrade type. And when that is false, we want to take our random weight. We're going to subtract from it the array value and send that back to random weight. So in the case where our random weight is between 0 and 60, it will be true. It'll go here and it'll just return our health common. If it's between 61 and 90, it will then go here, it will remove that 61 to 90, or remove 60 from it, so then it'll be between 1 and 30. And then it will go to the second element. If that had gone, or if it was between 91 and 100, then it will go to the third element, which is the epic value, will be returned. We'll just compile for our sanity, make sure there's no issue. And then we can create our get pending upgrades. Now in here, we're going to throw in a sequence. When our pending upgrades is empty, we're going to do a for loop, which I really don't like that if I type for loop, it selects that one instead of this one, but nonetheless. We just want 3 entries in our case, so we'll set those manually. You could make this one a variable and then you have some option to add extra ones later. The loop is just calling get random upgrade and adding that to pending upgrades. Incidentally, if you wanted unique upgrades, this would not be the way to do it. Like if this was add unique instead, it wouldn't work because you would just get a smaller list as opposed to guarantee a list of 3. You'd have to work that a little differently. At the end, we're just calling a return node so that we can return our pending upgrades. Oops. Drag that out and then drag it on here. And then we have our on award upgrade. This will be called when an upgrade is actually given to the player. And all this is doing is adding the upgrade to the awarded upgrades. Next, we want a function for get awarded grades. And all this is doing is this is a getter function effectively. And it's just going to return that. So when you have something like this, I have awarded upgrades is the name of our variable. The function is get awarded upgrades. If I were to go out here and do right click without moving the mouse, get awarded upgrades, you can see that there is both the function and the variable. Now that will show up the same way if you're in another blueprint. So if you want to, you can also make this one private. And I imagine it's going to look the same here. Yeah, but in another blueprint, you will not see the variable version. Given that this is only returning the value, it doesn't really do anything, but it is good for future proofing, so to speak. Lastly, we want a function for get upgrade details. In this case, we'll also be sending along an upgrade type. I clicked on the wrong button. I clicked on the wrong thing again. Over here, upgrade type. Oops. Which is of course type upgrade type. In this case, we're taking our upgrade text and icon. We will find that one and this one. Add a return node. Going to return this. This will be text. And the icon. So that's all for the framework. In the next video, we will work on the user interface, which will interact with these functions we've added. Thanks for watching. If you liked the video and would like to see more, you know what to do. And if you would like to support this channel or just want to download the project files, you can do so through my Patreon linked below.